Hello. Welcome to the 13th part of the Necromancer's evolutionary traits. Subscribe to my second channel for more recaps. Link is in the description. At the beginning of this part, we see that Andreas and Diane are hunting students. Andreas says, "That makes 6. Students are hanging by the tree upside down. The blood is rushing to my head. Based on the circumstances, they must have been a top group." Diane thinks, where on earth did he learn to track and capture like this? On top of that, he even managed to move swiftly over rugged mountain paths. It's as if he's a completely different person. Diane says, "Hey, what happened to you? Frankly, up until now, you've been an absolute scumbag. If I had stayed the way I was, I would have lost everything." Andreas says, "Just like you said, Diane, I've been an absolute scumbag. I never paid any attention to my sister Amy, even though she's the only family I have left. When I realized that, I made up my mind to do better. And as I worked towards it, I discovered that I, too, had a gift. Diane, I'm sorry for all the horrible things I've done." Diane says, "It's okay." Andreas says, "Well, shall we go then? Let's aim for the top." Diane says, "Yes." The team leader from midterm exams is watching them and thinks, "You didn't even blink when you killed someone during the Balarik case. He was a scumbag, but recently he changed for the better. How can someone who's been living like a fool become like that just because he had a change of heart?" Andreas Cromwell. "What an interesting lad." Diane says, "How long until we reach the point location?" Andreas says, "Probably about 3 minutes." He thinks, "You can collect points by taking the bracelets of other students, or you can collect them by capturing the point objects marked on the map." Andreas says, "Diane, get ready for an enemy attack." Goblin and Orc says, "Seriously? More brats showed up." Orc say, "I missed?" Goblin says, "Your eyes sure are shit." Andreas says, "There." Diane gets to him and says, "Andreas, are you all right?" Andreas says, "I'm fine, but things don't look good here." Diane says, "What happened here?" "Rejoice, Mantos." Goblin says, "Green hair. That's him. It was with the weight." Andreas says, "You know me?" Orc says, "Don't be a stranger. We came here to see you, yeah? Let's kill him and get the hell out of here." Andreas says, "If you want me, let the others go. Let's talk somewhere more private." Diane says, "Are you crazy? Let's fight them together." Andreas says, "Some of them are still alive. Please take care of them until the overseers arrive." She says, "But..." Andreas says, "It's okay. I'm confident I can win." Goblin says, "Win? Against use? What are you, stupid?" "Sure.
Come?
Suits us just fine." She thinks, Andreas. Andreas says, "Around here is good enough, right?" Orc says, "Yeah, no one's gonna notice if we make a loud noise here. All we have to do is cut off his head so it can be recognized, right?" "Yeah, let's get this over with and cut ties with that guy." "Got that. Well, let's see how good you are. Don't forget about me." Orc attacks, or says, "What the hell? You're not a wizard." Andreas cuts his axe and says, "Mantos and Glau, am I right? You better drop the prejudice that wizards can't use swords." Glau says, "How do you know our names?" Andreas says, "Well, I'll tell you if you tell me who from the congregation sent you." Glau says, "This looks like bad news, Mantos." Mantos says, "Shit." Andreas bring out nickel timer. Andreas says, "Even if you don't want to, you'll be talking to me soon enough anyway." Mantos says, "Looks like we've been fooled. Kidwell, you bastard." Andreas says, "Gauntlet?" Andreas says, "Nickel. Wait." Andreas says, "You can cut down anyone who tries to run away." Glau says, "You cheeky little shit." Mantos says, "It's not over yet." Andreas thinks, "Let's try combining my skills from back when I was still Makoto Kaneshiro with the combat prowess skill here." Glau says, "Let me teach you how to use a dagger." They start to fight. Mantos is down. Andreas says, "Don't tell me you're done already." He thinks, combat prowess. It's working. They haven't had a chance to play yet. Thought. After that we see Diane says, "Well then, I'll leave them all in your care." She says, "We're all well aware of your abilities and standing at the academy, but I think it would be best if we work together." Andreas thinks, some of them are still alive. Please take care of them until the overseers arrive. Diane says, I can't just stand by and let any more casualties happen. She says, all right, we'll follow you as soon as we can. Make sure you stay out of their sight. Diane says, yes. Mantos is down. Andreas says, I suggest you start talking now. Who is it? Who sent you to? Mantos says, just kill me already. Andreas says, Nickel. My sword. Andreas say to him as you wish. I have other ways to find it out, so there's no need to waste your breath. Glau says, it's Jester. Jester Rubin sent us. We don't owe a damn thing to anyone who treats us like animals, Mantos. I'll tell you another thing. He sent more than just the two of us. He thinks, I knew someone from the congregation had to be behind all this, but I didn't expect it to be Jester. He thinks of Salem says, if anyone dares to question this later, I'll find you and kill you. Andreas thinks, if Jester acted despite Salem's threats, that means he's confident he won't be found out if he eliminates me. That's probably why these two are making such a big ruckus. Andreas asks where's the other? Glau says, who knows? But even they wouldn't want to make an enemy of Rod Lin. So, a landslide? Maybe they're preparing something like that? That Jester. Looks like he wants to eliminate me by making it look like an accident. He's trying to create an alibi to avoid being hounded by Salem and Rod Lin. Huh. Glau says, let's get the hell out of here, Mantos. We're gonna get dragged into this. Andreas says, you think you can leave just like that? After killing all those students. Who said I'll let you two live? Diane thinks, I've almost reached the summit. But where on earth is Andreas? A magic circle appears. There are a lot of mages attacking Diane. She thinks, they're not the ones from before. Who are you people? Kidwell is also there and says, guess you're no run-of-the-mill brat? Huh? She says, you attack me out of the blue and won't answer my questions. Don't blame me if I kill you. He is really surprised and says, double chanting? She mixed the snowstorms with ice magic. She says, disappear. Kidwell uses a barrier magic and says, dodge it, you fools. What a frightening control of mana despite your age. He thinks, but even so, she's just a brat. How amusing. I'll play with you until our business is done. She is really surprised and thinks, black magic. She feels something and thinks, what is this presence? Diane is using a barrier and thinks, at this rate, my mana is going. Kidwell turns into a monster, behold. This is what I call a difference in experience. Difference in the experience? All you are doing is just adding an extra head on top. You little. I'm going to rip you to pieces. Diane says, threatening me like that only makes you more ridiculous. Old man. He says, playtime's over. Her nose starts to bleed. Andreas appears wearing the appearance-changing mask. He says, a mercenary hired by Rod Lin. I'll take it from there. Now hurry up and run. She says, mercenary? You know up out of the blue and think you can take on these guys by yourself. Are you out of your mind? His goal isn't to get rid of you or me. Andreas thinks, I can't call Nickel and timer out now. He wants to start a landslide in this whole area. So hurry up and go. Bastard, who are you? Why do you know that? Andreas says, why would I tell that to someone who's about to die? You insolent fool. They starts to fight. Diane is really surprised and she thinks, so fast. Watch out. The 13th part of the Necromancer's evolutionary traits ends here. If you want to see more, please subscribe and like. And if you want to support me financially, you can join my channel membership or Patreon only for $1. Patreon and Discord links are in the description if you want to support me. And a special thanks to all my Patreons for supporting me. Thanks for watching.